cutting it close. Cutting it real close. I got real fucking nervous. I was rushing to finish my shit so that I could get in here because I got real fucking nervous about
That's
it.
good. Not as close. It's 9:59.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think you said it was 55.
No, 59.
He's gonna roll in here, no problem. Just go ahead.
I'm telling you, right when it turns 10, we roll.
Well, okay, we're rolling now, but it's only 9:59. Don't make any sudden.
Okay, all right.
Because I did hear him around. Boy, he might be standing outside waiting.
Oh, do you think?
No.
Okay, it's 10.
Okay,
All right, let's go. It's 10 o'clock.
It is
officially 10 o'clock. That's when we said we were going to do the podcast.
I did see Charlie here earlier.
Oh, my God. Wow.
So he's in the building.
You said he was in the kitchen.
Yeah, he was in the kitchen.
You saw him tinkering around in the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
He was making... he had no regard for our time whatsoever. He was just making himself a bagel.
Just making a bagel with no regard for when we said we needed to be here to record.
And I think in his mind, he's like, well, I'm in the office, but the office is not the room where we podcast.
Right. Now, should we make
and here he comes.
He's
come in. He's late.
Oh, look at him.
No.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He's got that. This guy's got food.
I saw that you've been here forever.
This guy's got food in his mouth.
He just jammed food down his face so fast to get in here on time.
You didn't eat a whole bagel in the last 2 minutes, did you?
Yeah, he did. I watched him pull it out like a minute and a half ago.
It's already hard enough for the body to digest.
There's no way he's going to be late. And he was, but he was really only, if we're being fair, he was about 55 seconds late.
He did it for the podcast.
No, well, actually, I'll tell you, there's two things. I was like, did we say 10:30? We said 10. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at it, I was like, it's almost 10, but I was like, it's probably better if I just stroll in after 10 so they got something to talk about. But let's talk about the bigger issue here.
Oh, shit.
Let's talk about parking.
Let's talk about parking.
Well, you got my text, right?
I did get your text.
All right, so
it's obscene what Charlie was able to pull off.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, for those of you who heard the last podcast where we went on and on and on about parking and how close one needs to park to a column, Charlie went and parked so dangerously close to the column today that I was nervous that he possibly scratched his car.
I'm literally behind the column, and my right wheel did touch the column, and that's when I was like, okay, that's close enough, I'll park.
Yeah, my God.
Yeah, I want to believe that it went one of two ways, and either way is amazing. Mm-hmm. The first way that I want to believe is that you backed that thing up at like 55 and slammed on the brakes and just stopped and got out. Now that didn't happen, but I like to believe that it did because it would have been cool.
Yeah, like in a full slide, a full drift.
Yes,
full
drift.
I drifted in. Yeah. I'd say Tokyo drift, but I don't want to run the risk. Well, we
don't want to make it. Yeah,
you don't want to make it specific.
Yeah. So I California drifted in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stereotype.
But then the other version is you getting out over and over and over again and checking to make sure how close you can get it, which I don't think is what happened either. But I like the idea of thinking you kept getting out and kept looking at it and kept going, I'm going to fucking put it right on top of it.
I will say I did it in 2 moves. So there were no other cars in the garage. That made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But I came in. Right. I tossed the tail back at
an extreme angle.
At an extreme angle, all right? So I was like, all right, that's really good.
That's actually a good technique.
No, the way I parked is ridiculous. I only did it for this conversation.
I'm sure. No, it was clear. That was clear.
Clear. I'm genuinely worried about getting out. Like that's going to be.
No, as long as you pull forward, your wheel's already turned. You should be in good shape. You kept your wheel turned, which was smart.
So the butt went in first. I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. I'm behind the pole. Awesome. And then I was thinking about it before I came in. I'm like, I can't wait to get in there and just do the most ridiculous parking job.
So close.
And then I was able to turn the wheel in until I felt the wheel hit the pole. I was like, perfect. Great.
Yeah.
I'm in. I think I would have been willing to scratch my car for the joke.
I know you would. Yeah. I know you would. And I appreciate that about you. You're willing to go that far for a good joke. Yeah, no, that's I
now,
think it's
Meg,
good.
Is there going to be, I don't understand the technology here. Is there going to be a possibility for people to go to some sort of site that we could put the photos up? Because I think the photos
would tell the real story here.
Now listen, guys, a story of us.
Because Glenn did a park job yesterday that was obscene. It was a shot across the bow. He's going to claim he always does that.
I do.
And I'm going to say he went the extra. Maybe you think that you do, but you don't. No, you never go that tight.
No, I do. I swear to God, I am I am a maniac. I am an absolute maniac, and because
We
it
know
makes
that,
me,
but we don't know that it extends specifically to parking.
it does because it bothers me so much when people don't get close. I put it upon myself to get so obscenely close to the column every single time, and have done for many years. That's just how I am. I'm a maniac.
Yeah.
I'm an absolute maniac. Yeah. Now I want to say, hold on. So I parked next to you today, Charlie, and I want to get out ahead of this. Okay, I purposely didn't park too close to the wall this time because I didn't need to. There's a full, almost a full car width between our cars.
You could squeeze a garbage truck in there.
So I was like, there's no point in me getting too close to the wall because we've both got so much room to I could swing my door open super
Now, wait
wide.
a second. That's disrespectful to the person that could come in after Charlie. Let's just say Charlie had to leave early.
He doesn't.
He might.
No.
He does, actually.
I do.
He does. Yeah, he does have to leave early.
I'm still within the line, and I'm still parked very close to the wall. To be clear, okay, I'm just not as absurdly close as I would normally get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've settled it.
Charlie, wow. I mean,
no, this is an ongoing saga.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to park like that again.
I don't think
the
you
next
should.
time.
I don't think you should get that.
No, that's a
close.
comedy park job.
Yeah, it was a good job. It was great. It was a good bit.
Yeah.
I genuinely enjoyed this episode, $100 Baby.
Yeah.
I remember we had a lot of fun writing it. I remember us thinking that we were sort of like tapping into some new shit with this particular episode. I think there's no issue of surrounding this episode. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't even...
Well, the one thing I don't, and the only one thing that whatever, we got into a thing with it and we used it a bunch and it worked for the show, but it dates the show, is like the parody aspect of it. Because we all saw that movie, right?
Oh, the $100.
We all saw $1 Million Baby.
yeah.
And it was probably either that year or the year, right, that they won an Oscar. And we were like, what is this movie?
Yeah, why do people like this
Why
movie?
do people even like this movie? It was
terrible.
It was terrible.
It's terrible. No offense to all the people who made that movie, except for
Well, I
people
haven't
who
gone back.
directly-
Maybe I'd see it again and like it was,
not good.
I don't know, maybe it was terrible to someone in their 20s and in your 40s you watch and you're like, oh.
Well, it
Maybe.
was like a boxing movie that you'd seen before, except this time, like, it was just a feat from, it was a woman, and she was great.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, of
Hillary
course.
Swank's performance
she's
is
awesome.
great in that
Of
film.
course.
She's great.
But then the end, not spoiling anything because the movie's been out for 20 years. The end, she just randomly gets paralyzed in the ring, very similarly to the
Clint
way
Eastwood
that we
movie?
did.
Isn't
Yeah,
that the movie?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, your memory of the writing of that is misinformed.
Okay.
We had a very difficult time writing that one. And I remembered that you guys wanted to throw it out. At a certain point, you were like, this isn't going to work. Let's just chuck it. And I remember thinking, okay, I do see something that we can do to connect these stories. They just weren't feeling connected. I don't remember what that thing was. I remember doing a pass, and then you guys be like, okay, yeah, that could work. And then we jump back into it. But I remember at one point, we were like, this one isn't going to work.
It does seem that it's the first time where we started to get really cartoonish.
We did a montage. Our first montage?
Maybe, yeah.
No, because we did a montage in Charlie Has Cancer, but
Oh, right.
yeah, with
In the pilot.
In the pilot.
The very first
In our
episode.
pilot. Yeah.
But the reason I say it's cartoonish is that we got you guys like hooked onto some kind of steroid, which then almost immediately turned you into like animals, like legitimately
we did the same thing
animals.
2 episodes before with crack.
it's one of the first time. No, but you know what it is?
But that is what crack would do.
Well, I don't know for steroids, Rob. Why don't you tell us about the steroid use?
Yeah, Rob,
I'm happy
tell
to
us
walk
about
you
Why
through
steroids.
don't you go into that?
I'm happy to walk you through it if you guys want to do a whole episode about steroids. I'm
No,
very interested
let's
in the
not
male
cycle through
form.
that.
No, I'm sure Dax Shepard's got that area covered. You know what I mean?
we did a
The
whole
male
episode
bodies.
about it.
Yeah, you guys all. You just
It was
your
thrilling.
obsession with male bodies.
It was thrilling.
It was thrilling.
It was. I enjoyed it
And
actually.
I enjoyed
you
it
both
too.
listened to it.
I
But it's
enjoyed
covered.
Yeah,
It's covered. Yeah, of course, man.
He's got a good podcast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's how you do it. No, where were we? Yeah, cartoonish. Yeah,
but
Well,
it's
but this is
funny.
what like I am I wrong in thinking like we started doing like bits in this episode. I don't recall us really doing like bits before this. Like for instance, if I remember one of the first times I had trouble getting through a scene was in this when we were shooting the scene where we're massaging
Charlie,
where I'm massaging Charlie.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, something clicked for me there where I was like, oh, this is really funny to me. And it's such a stupid little bit. And something clicked for me there. And we started doing more things that we were just like, you know what? I don't know why this is funny. It's just funny. It's funny behavior, funny human behavior shit.
There's a weird balance in that episode between the really broad stuff like weightlifting jokes or shaving your face or whatever, and then the much more subtler like, well, like just like what type of wood it is that I punched. And
yes,
like that,
right.
That conversation.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
I enjoyed those conversations so much. Watching
exactly. Like the clown baby bit too. I remember
Do you know where that came from? Do you remember where that came from? I'm gonna suggest that I remember, and maybe you, and I'm gonna lay this out, and maybe I'm dead wrong, but I distinctly remember having a conversation where Charlie was like, I feel like in every episode we're taking my character to a cartoonish place where he's this like baby clown baby, and like I don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to be a clown baby, and we were like, okay, we understand that, but it's also really funny, and like maybe
it doesn't sound like me not to want to be a clown baby.
I think it was just like
you are absolutely right. I totally remember that. Yeah, 100%. It was you describing yourselves as being like a clown.
Yeah.
Like a dumb clown baby. And then that sticking with us and being like, clown baby's just funny. And then when we got to that episode, we were like, ooh,
I think it's also from a running joke about a really funny email, which would be clownbaby.fart.
Clown penis.
No, it was clown penis.
Oh, clown penis.
That's from SNL.
Which is an SNL thing.
Yes.
Clown penis.
I'm almost 100% that you were like, well, it wasn't that you were unwilling to go to places. It was just like, I feel like I'm turning into a cartoon character.
Yeah.
And then it turned into Clown Baby. And then we put that in the show. And then you were by far the funniest in the show. And then we were like, well, let's just all be clown babies.
Oh, let's all be clowns. Yeah.
Which we eventually got to.
Yeah. Except me. And then we're like,
then we dialed you back a little bit.
You dialed me back. Yeah. Try to rein me in, you motherfuckers.
Well, I stole a major bit from you in this episode.
What is it?
You might have even actually suggested that I steal it because it was probably your pitch, and to me it's really funny. But in the first season, when we did the Nazi episode, right? Yeah. You thought it was going to be really funny if when I opened the door to reveal you wearing the Nazi uniform,
banana,
you were casually eating this banana. Right, which was really funny. And then in this second season,
you came up with that on the day, as I recall. That wasn't in the script. You were just like, it'd be funnier if I'm just
doing something very casual,
eating the dumbest food possible.
Really?
Yes.
So then in this episode,
this guy sounds so interesting to me. This Charlie guy,
this Charlie Day guy.
Yeah. What else does he?
Well, and then in this episode. You would have been behind the monitors, so you would have either suggested it or I would have just straight up said,
Rob.
I would have said, I'm just going to steal this from you. And then it was the reveal that we're at this event and we're just casually eating. I'm just casually eating it.
Yeah, just a brutal underground fighting situation, like a real blood sport kind of a thing. And
so I'm sure fans looked at that and they were like, oh, it's like a running thing where these guys are casually eating food when they have these like but really it's just me stealing.
Well, no, but that is that was the idea behind it. It was like, we thought that was funny. We're like, no, that is funny. It's funny to be in a situation like this and just be casually eating the dumbest possible food.
I think to our credit, none of us have ever cared about that stuff. It's like, hey man, that's my joke. I can't like that. That would have been a toxic environment for creating something. Like, okay, I did something that's funny. If you do it and it's funny in the next scene when you're doing it, great. Go do it.
I mean, I'm sure there's a line where, like, a line that could be crossed where, like, if I literally started doing every fucking funny thing that you ever did and just like fully made it my persona, that would probably be pretty irritating. Yeah. But it would also be bad acting on my part.
I've heard us do it like we do a take. Someone does an improv. 2 takes later, someone else
is already taking the line, and it's like unconscious.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes, that is true. That does happen. Yeah, that's a little irritating.
We knew a lot. We had a lot of friends in this episode. Like we knew a lot of friends.
Like
yes.
Well, at the beginning of the show, that's pretty much how we were casting things.
But I mean, this one is like Jason Van Over.
Yep.
Who's my buddy from college who played the guy who mugs us in the alley in the beginning and in the end. Jessie Ward, who I also knew from when I was in college, although she was next door at the School of American Ballet. So I've known her for years. Katie Chrysler, who plays the drug dealer who gets these steroids for her. She also went to college with me.
Talk about cartoony though. The choice to reveal her popping up into the frame like that, like.
Do you remember in the script? Do you remember what it said in the script? I remember this.
She came out from the shadows.
She emerged from the shadows.
Yes.
And they were like,
I remember that too.
We don't have the capability to create
Guys,
shadows.
we can't make a
show.
shadow.
Yeah, so let's.
Yeah, that requires.
100%.
Yeah.
And then she says at the end, let's lurk back into the shadows.
So we were like, well, we're going to get it in the dialogue then.
Yeah, but there is no shadow to lurk into.
No, there are no.
She just popped up.
And isn't that funny? Like, nowadays, if we came to set, and they lit the scene, they're like, yeah, so we couldn't come up with a shadow. We'd be like, sorry, go make a shadow, and then we'll shoot.
Yeah.
We'll shoot with a shadow. Like, what are you talking about?
Unless it was going to add half an hour to our day, in which case we'd go, it's probably fine if she just pops up, right?
Which is probably what we did. In fairness sake, they're like, we don't really need a shadow.
It
It's
doesn't
fine. Let's
matter.
keep
Just
it
have
moving.
her pop up into the frame.
Guys,
Like,
we've rented this gym for 2 hours, so we got to shoot all these scenes. So let's talk about Eddie Mecca.
Eddie Mecca.
Sure. Well,
Holy
another
shit.
great friend of Danny's, if I recall correctly.
oh God!
Now
It was hard to tell whether Danny genuinely hated that guy or if he was just in character.
I think that's something that Danny does. Like sometimes
Yeah.
if the character's going to be really upset, Danny will stay a little bit upset.
Yeah.
But then I can't tell if he starts to become upset because he's been acting upset and it's affecting him, or if Eddie Mecca was just annoying the shit out of Danny. Either way, those scenes are great. That guy is hilarious.
He's
to me.
fucking hilarious. He's great. And do you guys remember that? Okay, so when he has the line, don't get your panties in an uproar.
Yeah, that wasn't written.
That was not written. The line that we wrote was
Probably
"Don't get
one
your
of the-
panties in a bunch" or
That's right.
"twist." I don't remember if it was a twist or a bunch.
Either way, it was the
Panties
more
in an uproar.
And
is like,
yes, he in a take or in the rehearsal, I don't remember what it was. He just went up on the line and mixed his metaphors. And,
did he go up on it? And
He
that's
went up
why
on the
it's
line,
so much better. Panties in an uproar.
panties in an uproar? Yeah, exactly.
Don't get your panties in an uproar is one of my favorite things anyone said in this show ever.
Yeah.
Then we went to him after that take or the rehearsal or whenever it was that he said it, and we said, Eddie, you accidentally said, "Don't get your panties in an uproar." That's the line now.
Yeah.
That is now the line. And so that became the line in every other take.
Let me ask you about this episode. The final sequence, the slow motion sequence, did we shoot that on film?
Yes, we shot that with the Phantom camera. So no, it wouldn't have been
Did
filmed.
we have the Phantom for that?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because why are the lights blinking? Why does it look so shitty?
Because we shot it on whatever we shot it on. Those lights started strobing.
Yes, but I don't think we shot it on film. I thought we shot it with that Phantom, which was like the first super high speed camera. We should look into that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
But
But
the first time we used the Phantom was in the Christmas episode.
it could be,
But
which means maybe we shot this with film, but that wouldn't have created that strobing thing.
I don't know what. I'm not sure what we did.
I don't know. We shot it with something different, which is because we couldn't slow down our cameras to slow enough to get it to look how we wanted it to look. But
I remember
I
in the
feel like
editing.
it was film.
I remember in the editing room we tried a lot of different music choices for that, and then when we came across Moonlight Sonata,
Yeah.
I remember. We weren't totally sure. We're like, this is a little. Felt like.
Heavy.
Yeah. It felt heavy and maybe a little. Yeah, right. Like normally we would compose or we would put something very light in such a heavy moment.
Right.
But
Cut
there was
against
something
it
about it that just was so disturbing and beautiful. And I couldn't. By the way, I had to cover my eyes when she. I can't watch it when she breaks her neck.
It's
on that
upsetting,
stool.
yeah.
I really can't watch it.
How did we do that?
Did we do it in
looks
reverse?
so-
We
we
would
must
not
have-
have been sophisticated enough to do that.
We
She
weren't,
might
but Dan Adius
Adius
might
was.
have.
Yeah, that's true.
So we probably did that in reverse.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe. I don't know.
Could we?
I don't know.
How do you do that in reverse?
I could ask Jesse.
Someone pulls her up.
Yeah,
I don't
but you
think
would
we
have seen
did.
her arm go up. Yeah, I think she went down.
I think she went
did
down
it
on-
really slowly, maybe.
Yeah.
I think someone held her arm and we
maybe.
pulled her up.
Maybe.
God, because if we could remember things.
I will ask.
We remember enough.
You remember most things. I'm upset you can't remember this. Is it film
Yeah.
or is
I
it
don't-
some sort of phantom camera?
Or is it a phantom camera?
Was it a phantom camera that we shot
Okay,
that
let's
with?
put that on the list.
Either
of
way, it
questions
looks
and-
terrible.
It looks terrible. The strobing, guys, come on.
Meg has a note here. Please talk about the background actor in the gym who's holding the towel and keeps looking at the camera. Craig.
Oh, that guy was great.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean,
Well, he wasn't. He wasn't.
he
Right?
wasn't, and that's why it was so fun.
Yeah, he was great, but not probably for the reasons that he thought. I think I don't know what was going through his head, but the absolutely bewildered look on his face was, by the way, why we put him in that role, because we wanted some guy. I just think the name Craig is funny. I apologize to all the Craigs out there, but I just think the name Craig is funny. We named him Craig, and he's Eddie Mech. He's Bobby Thunderson's lackey. And he's just always standing behind him, leering. And Meg's right. He just we couldn't get him to stop looking into the fucking camera. That's the guy you're talking about, right?
Yeah, he was so like nervous, and there's some, you know.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was doing.
No, he was not an actor.
No.
Was he an extra? Sorry, was he?
I think he was an extras casting.
That we just grabbed and we said, "You got a funny look, go." And,
Yeah.
and then he wound up being one of the better things of the episode.
Yeah, just a man who constantly looks like he's worried that that he doesn't know whether he's doing the right thing or not.
That's a little bit of a ripoff of the guy in Big Lebowski who's with John Turturro.
Yes, totally. Yeah,
he's got like a bowling lackey.
Yeah, the guy with the military haircut, the kind of overweight guy with the mustache, who's been in like also a million movies.
Really?
Yeah, always just playing like somebody in the background or has like one line or something. That guy. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. But that's a good bit too.
Do you remember where the line "I will eat your babies, bitch" comes from?
Yes, actually, I was going to talk about this.
Mike Tyson.
That's Mike Tyson. But I think he was in an interview and he said, "I will eat his babies," because he was doing an interview with somebody and they were saying like, "How do you think it's going to go?" He's like, "I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him senseless. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to eat his babies."
Mr. Spielberg, you came back into the room.
Well, I just wanted to. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't mean to interrupt. I heard you guys talking about Mike Tyson, and I felt like I did a pretty good Mike Tyson impersonation. So
That's pretty good.
hey, thanks,
not
guys.
bad.
All right,
It's
I gotta
not
get back in the edit. I got 500 movies coming out.
Well, thanks for coming in, man.
Good to
Appreciate
see
it.
you. Good to see you, Steve.
All right.
Always good to see you, pal.
Doing the montage, I remember you had to break the things over my back.
And I remember it hurting more than
Yes,
we
I remember
thought
that
it
hurting
would,
you
right?
too. Yeah, you had a pad on and it still
I
hurt.
had some kind of toast. The thing over my back hurt. The glass over my head did not hurt, but I hate that I closed my eyes before you hit me. You know, which was like, and I think they were like,
I remember you being bummed about that when we did it and us being like, it's fine.
it's fine. And I still watch it. I'm like, God damn it. Like, you know.
Yeah, but what are you supposed to do? I mean, you're
You're supposed to not see it coming and get smashed in the head. Much funnier.
Yeah, but what if
Much-
the little sugar glass got in your eyeballs?
Well,
And you were
What's
you know.
sugar? Just wipe it out.
I pulled that car. I remember pulling that car.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you pulled the car.
Not that hard though.
Not that hard.
When a car's in neutral, you can pull it.
But you'd think it would be hard, and then you're like, oh, well, it's designed to roll.
It is designed to roll,
It's designed
and
to
it
roll.
is in neutral,
It's in
and
neutral.
you're not pulling it. You weren't actually pulling it through snow, so.
Yeah.
But it must have felt pretty cool.
Felt cool.
Yeah,
Felt really cool.
yeah. I enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed going for the ride. Is this the first time we use the phrase "pop your shirt off"?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, that was a phrase that I admittedly stole from two other college buddies of mine who every once in a while would say that. They'd be like, "Let me pop this shirt off," and I just remember thinking that's really funny, and so I just stole it from them.
What other people did you go to college with? Let's talk about that.
I went to college with a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people went to my college. A lot of people go to college, and I knew the people that were at my college, and so I called upon them.
Well, also, it was an entertainment driven college, so
Guys, let's
there's
just
a
say it. I
lot
went to
of-
Juilliard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we know.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that already.
I'm sure we have. It's not that interesting, but yeah, a lot of Juilliard folks in this. And Jason Vanover, Juilliard, Katie Chrysler, Juilliard. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're forgetting. I feel like there's other.
Oh, Sean Toomey.
Oh, Sean Toomey.
Sean Toomey, yeah.
That's the clown baby scene.
That's the
right?
clown baby scene, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Sean, who we were friends with for like a year, and then he went.
Yeah,
away.
he took off.
He took off.
Yeah, he went.
He He was on a pirate reality show.
Correct.
And then
And
disappeared
then
off the
moved
face
back
of the
to
earth.
he moved back to Virginia Beach and then
Explain
Florida.
a
or something.
pirate.
Right.
So in reality, he's a pirate? Like, what is a reality pirate?
Sure.
What is
Sure,
a
that's a fair
pirate
question.
reality show?
Yeah, it's a very fair question.
This was right at the height, although the shows
Survivor,
are still,
like,
Survivor,
shit like that,
and
yeah.
so they were making like new reality type series. And
Become
one
a
of them,
pirate and create some reality.
you lived, yes, you lived on a pirate ship,
Right.
and then you had these various tasks to, I guess, that were very analogous to the way it was to live as a pirate. And then you won.
Yeah.
You
A
won
Captain
boot-
Phillips style pirate ship?
No. We're talking about like Caribbean.
Blackbeard.
A Blackbeard
Yeah,
style pirate ship.
I'm sure Pirates of the Caribbean.
One-Eyed
maybe was-
Willie.
Yeah.
Those pirates.
Yeah.
So he
Captain
did
Hook.
that. He did
Captain
that.
Hook.
He did that, and he was a contestant on that. And
Correct.
then
I don't think he did that well, as I recall. I feel like I watched a little bit. I think he got eliminated relatively early, but I don't remember why, which is surprising because he's a big, strong, strapping
pirate type man.
intelligent, as I recall, and quite good with his hands, good with
How was he with his hook?
Yeah, fair enough.
Right, that's true. You put a hook on your dominant hand, and you're gonna have some trouble. Yeah,
that's the thing.
I remember Sean Toomey. We would go surfing together, and there was this one time where Sean, I was at his and Zach Knighton's place because I believe, were roommates, or maybe Zach had moved out at that point.
Yeah.
But they were right on the beach, so I used to go to his place and we'd surf and eat jelly beans afterwards because for some reason that's what surfers do to get the salt taste out of their mouth. Or that's what we did. I don't know. Anyway, and I needed a ride back to my apartment. Sean's like, "You just hop on my motorcycle and I'll go back." And now I'll admit I don't like motorcycles. I don't think I'd ever been on a motorcycle. And he was like, "It's fine." This motherfucker, it was like he was in a motorcycle race.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Sean, fuck, I don't want to die. I don't want to die from this."
Sorry, bro, it's the jelly beans coursing through my veins.
Yeah, I remember being really fucking pissed off at him for putting my life in danger.
It's like, dude, I'm going 30 miles an hour.
He probably was, but he got to 30 too fast.
It's a motorcycle.
He got from 0 to 30 too
Yeah.
fast.
Do you still surf?
No, I don't surf anymore. No, I was never very good at it.
If you look closely in that episode, I was looking at it and going, I look strange in this one part in the underground episode. I'm like bright red, and then Sean Toomey's bright red, and I'm like, was it hot in there? And then I remembered that that weekend, the day before, we were out on the beach and
you
got
guys were sunburned.
so fucking
I
sunburned.
remember you
shit.
came to set sunburned.
That's
and we were
right.
like,
Yeah, and I
This
just we
looks
could
crazy.
Yeah, I looked crazy, and they try to
Right.
like put makeup on it, and you can still tell it's like we're just bright
Yeah,
reds.
Toomey was burned as fuck in that scene,
Yeah,
right?
both of us. We look ridiculous.
The little guy that you go to fight cracks me up. That
Yeah.
guy in the back
Yeah.
of that shot.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
I really enjoy that we used the song from The Karate Kid in the
Sure.
montage. I don't know that that's something that we would do now, but I found it very amusing at the time. Karate Kid's like one of my favorite movies. It still is. That movie holds up.
It
guys.
holds up. I watch it with my kids and loved every
It's
second of it.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That movie is fantastic. That song is terrible.
Yeah.
But I love it. Performed by Mr. Joe Bean Esposito. I don't believe it was written by him.
Okay.
So they were like, you know what? Who's the best guy we can get to perform this awesome song?
Who's the
And they're
best
like, you know,
around?
who's the best around? Joe Bean.
Joe Bean.
Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can
Can
get
you
Joe
get
Bean.
Joe?
Can we get Joe Bean
He's
Esposito
the best
for this?
around.
Yeah, he's not the best. But he's the best that was around.
He's around.
He is around.
He's the best that's around right now.
There's another.
Not the best,
Which, by the way,
best around.
that applies to a karate tournament in Reseda, doesn't it? Right? Like, he's
Sure.
not the best karate
Sure.
kid on the planet.
Yeah,
He's
but
the best in
one
Reseda.
Around Reseda.
Reseda.
Around
area.
this dojo in Reseda.
Yeah, he's the best that they had around.
There was another actor in there who was on a television series back in the mid to late '80s.
Sopranos.
With no.
Late.
Don.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
Don.
here's what's even stranger. Okay, so
Sometimes Dan.
He was yes. Okay,
Yes.
so he was on a series with our friend Jason Bateman,
Right.
called Valerie.
Oh, that's what it was.
And then
Yeah.
they
And
changed
then
it to
Valerie's
Valerie
family.
and then they
And
changed
then the
it-
Hogan
and
family.
the Hogan
I'm sorry,
family.
I keep interrupting
No,
you,
it's okay.
Jordan. I'm sorry.
You're excited.
I
I'm
like
excited.
it. It's adding energy to this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And so he played one of the kids in that show.
That's what it was.
Right. And then his name, so I looked it up because I was like, I want to look him up. He is credited as Don Ponce.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, okay, Don Ponce. So I look up Don Ponce. Don Ponce doesn't exist on IMDb. He just doesn't exist.
He's
So
Daniel Ponce.
Yeah, well, yes. He's sometimes credited as Luis Ponce. Sometimes he's Luis Daniel Ponce. Sometimes he's Danny Ponce. And this time, he was Don Ponce.
Jesus.
He
God.
tried on Don Ponce for one credit and then moved on from it.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
we fucked that up.
Or
Much more
We did
likely-
much more like
Or he was embarrassed that he did our show and didn't want people
Also
to know
fair.
that.
Okay,
Also fair.
Also fair.
Yeah.
And the end of your storyline
Yes.
is just you beating him up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes that's how shit ends.
And by the way, I wanted to ask you, in the scene leading up to that where you're eating the steak.
Hoagie. The hoagie.
Well, actually, yeah, okay, yeah, the hoagie. You okay? Oh, right. No, that was the scene. Right. When we're in there and we're like, you're gonna meet us there. And we're like, yes, I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. And then you go to eat the hoagie, and you cycle through so many different emotions
Thanks, man.
in the eating of that hoagie. Do you remember like thinking? What do you remember thinking when you were shooting that? Because it's such a strange and interesting choice.
I think I remember thinking like how fun it is to just
Right.
completely let it rip, right? Which is to be like, okay, that you don't. There's no like
Yeah.
limitation to your choices here because you're a man out of control of yourself,
Yeah.
and then just trying to feel into each one, and then being pleased as though it's like, oh, that really.
Well, yeah, I just remember thinking it was very funny, the idea of like cycling between extreme joy and like teary sadness.
Yeah.
All within like milliseconds.
Yeah, I'm a little bit bummed I've never kind of gotten to do it again. Like, which is like, what a fun thing to get to do. Just like, let it go, man. Like, if suddenly something amuses you, dive right into that, right? And then if you feel a hint of anger for a second, chase that down, and then there's
Do you feel boxed in now on the show?
I
Do you
feel
you
no,
feel like you're
that's
being
not the
reined in?
show. Just in general, that would be a very bizarre choice to do for any sort of scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. If you did it too many times, though, people be like,
It wouldn't be funny anymore.
Nah, it
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
be
did
funny
it. You did it the one time.
yeah,
You
it
did.
was
That's the thing.
special. It was special.
Thanks, man. I'm proud of that moment.
You should be.
I like it. I like it. I'm also proud of your outfits. And that, you with the Kangol hat.
Oh
and
yeah,
the-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They
Full
look
trainer mode.
great, man. I think that's the first time we put you guys in like funny outfits, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, I mean the jihad episode, we were,
Right.
but that was a costume
Yeah.
put on, but we were supposed to be terrorists. There's a very stupid, silly joke in this that I always thought was really funny, and I still think it's funny. I remember it was funny on the day. Was that we were boxing trainers, so the thought is ostensibly we were waking you up at 4 a.m. to go training, and then so you're fast asleep in your room, and we're banging on the door, and you were slowly waking up, and the joke is it's
Guys, it's 11 a.m.
It's 11 a.m. Yeah.
And it's
What
so
are you
stupid,
doing?
but it's so funny to me.
Yeah.
There's no actual clock in my apartment, so I just have to look somewhere on the wall. And just, it's 11 a.m.
Now, was the idea that the bag of chips and the beer that's in your hand as you're waking up was from the night before?
Yeah, right.
I guess so,
or did you
yeah.
wake up in the morning,
Have
pop
some
a
chips
beer,
and beer and fall back asleep
and
on
fall
the couch.
back asleep? Not sure.
Not determined. Do you remember there's a little debate as to whether or not you were going to bang that rubber?
Yeah.
I wanted a metal trash can. And they were like,
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. And production was like, you can't do that. But I'm like, it's funnier if it's going to make crash and make a metal noise.
Right.
And we tried to figure out how to safely do it. And I was like, aren't they kind of lightweight? Like, won't it like dent it naturally?
Well, now what we would do is we'd go to the props department and we'd be like, we want it to look like a metal trash can, figure it out. And then we would walk out of the room and that would be the end of it.
Yeah.
And then we would show up on the day, and if there wasn't a metal trash can there or one that looked like one, heads would fucking roll. Because we're mean.
When was the last time a head rolled on this show?
We don't roll heads. We're nice.
what about fights? What about fighting? Have we talked about fighting on the show, haven't we?
I don't think. No, we haven't talked. I don't think we've talked about like. Are you talking about like us getting in actual fights? Us as
Yeah.
as people, not
Yeah,
characters.
a lot of fighting in $100 Baby. And,
Yeah.
us as human beings in physical altercations.
Yeah, boy.
Well, I know Sean Toomey. That was like you were alluding to this already, but he was like known for just beating the shit out of people, and I would not want to get into a fight with him.
That was a big guy.
He's a big guy, but he's also he was like an amateur boxer.
I'm also happy to say I never witnessed it. I wouldn't want to see that.
Well, we were old and too old by
and a
that point.
pirate, right?
And also
A pirate, so yeah.
Pirates, they don't play by the same rules. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, he's got a knife in his teeth and a parrot that will, the parrot might attack you.
The parrot's going to get involved. Yeah, he's going to peck your eyes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parrot knows it's going to get some good crackers if he takes an
Absolutely.
eye out.
Polly wants an eyeball.
Yeah, probably wants a finger. I'll say this about the episode. Going back to the episode, I did feel like watching it that we are really with the show hitting some sort of stride where we're like, well, this feels like a TV show. Where you watch the first season and you're like, wow, what is this? What are we doing? And then by this time, I feel like we're finding our own voice. And I noticed that we transitioned from some scenes without any music, and I was like, oh, we should go back to that. Like there's some scenes we just, like the one where you're rubbing my shoulders, we just cut into the bar and there's no like.
Oh, that would have ruined it. That would have ruined it because it's the silence, the awkward silence between the
yeah
and the breaths that makes it funny. So you put music under that, you fuck it up. You fuck it up.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in general we score our show much less than other shows score things, because to me it's sometimes it's a little bit of a cheat, right? It's like the scene's not working. We need to put music in here to make the scene work. Now we do that sometimes.
We do.
So it's amazing how sometimes it fixes it. Like where you're working,
right song?
working a scene, you're like, God, something's off, and then you're like, let's try one of our Sonny cues, and you're like, oh my God, the scene works.
Yeah, all of a sudden it works, or you score it with something else.
Yeah.
I think we were resistant to that too, because this was around the time, and then that continued for a few years, where like there was like these big hit network comedies that were on, and it would be wall to wall music,
Right.
Fucking wall to wall,
Wall to
like
wall.
It would never let up.
Yep.
And these shows
drove
would
me
come
crazy.
on. They'd be marketed to hell. You'd see billboards for them everywhere. They'd be the new smash hit for 6 weeks, and then you'd never see them
Some
again.
wacky fucking score just going through every single scene. It drove me insane.
Yeah.
Drove me crazy. Yeah, so we actually made a very conscious effort not to do that, as I recall. Yeah. What?
Uh-huh. I like that we constantly are making a joke about on this show about how things, and this is based on a bit we did on the show, that we just do a bunch of things and then it just sort of ends. And I'm getting
That's
the
how you
sense
feel.
that truly is the what the podcast is. Like we
Right.
all collectively feel like it's just sort of
Yeah, you kind of feel it,
sort of
right?
over,
When
right?
the energy
we
starts
don't
to
need
dip.
force it. I mean, guys, we've done 50 minutes. You know,
We're gonna cut 20 minutes out anyway.
maybe it's all gold. I don't know.
I know. It does feel like we start digging at a certain point.
But I
for
do
it.
no. I will say though, I do want to say this one last thing, like about this episode. To me, there's something about it that does feel like, is this? I mean, am I wrong in thinking this is the first time we really kind of did an episode that really just is not about a sort of a major issue? It's just a dumb fucking episode where the characters just doing dumb shit.
Well, the
You know what I mean? Like
I brought this up about the one
last
before, where I was saying I felt like Mac Bangs Dennis's mom was just
I
about
guess
the
so. That's
characters
true.
and their relationship to one another, and
Yeah.
and
That
in some,
was just the last episode.
well, it's okay. He just forgot one thing that I said, but that's
just
no
forgot
big
the
deal.
one
Yeah,
thing, just the one
It's
thing.
just the one thing.
Just the one thing. Yeah.
He never let go of the parking in his mind that whole episode.
Yeah, I struggled on that last one, guys. I really did. I just wasn't really in a good mood. I didn't have a lot of energy, and I think you're right. I think coming in I think doing the podcast at noon is anything past 10 is really just, you're getting the...
You know what we should try? We should do one podcast. These have been heavily caffeinated for you, but we should try one where you're just fucking hammered. We should do one like that.
Well,
see
we should.
See what happens, right?
Yeah.
We talk about that in this episode where we're just like, well, everything is going to be enhanced with us being drunk.
Yeah, get a little brown in us, maybe. Some brown.
Yeah, we can give it a shot.
Sure.
Hey, listen, man.
We should try one where we try crack and then try a podcast. You know, that's what we should be doing.
Right.
We should have done some steroids for this one and crack for the other one. We should have banged each other's mothers the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right, Charlie.
You know, and I should have been like, you know what's interesting about banging mothers?
And then you would actually have something to talk about, like
yeah.
something concrete.
Yeah, they're in their 70s. You know,
boy.
some sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this has been great, and we'll see you on the next one.